My ex cheated and told me it was just a one-time mistake, so I made sure it was her last. Now she's broke, alone, and begging to come back, but I already replaced her. She kissed me goodbye, told me she loved me, and boarded a plane to go find herself with her girlfriends. For days later, she came back smiling, tan, and glowing like she'd been somewhere magical. I didn't say a word, because I already knew she slept with another man. And here's how I made sure it would be the biggest mistake she ever made. Alright, let me back it up a little. I'm 33, been married for 6 years. No kids. Not yet, at least. Just me, my wife Emily, and our dog Max. I work in IT, remote, full-time. I'm not flashy, not loud, but I notice everything, especially small things people overlook. That's kinda important for later. Anyway, Emily had always been close with her two best friends, Rachel and Melissa. They were both single, loud, and had this whole girl boss energy going on. I didn't mind it, most of the time. I never tried to control her or tell her what to do. If she wanted a trip with the girls, fine, go for it. I trusted her. At least, I used to. So, one day, she tells me she and her girls are planning a trip to Miami. Just 4 days, sun, shopping, drinks, getting away from work stress. I remember joking with her like, just don't end up on a yacht with a rapper named Lil something. She laughed, kissed me, and said, please, I'm married. I'm just going for the beach and mimosas. Famous last words, right? The trip begins, and at first everything seems normalish. But you know how people say you can just feel when something's off? That's exactly what happened. On the first day, she barely messaged me. One quick selfie at the airport, then silence for most of the evening. Later, she says, sorry babe, my phone died. Rachel had a charger though, lol. I'm okay. Second day, a few texts in the morning. Then radio silence again until midnight. And the photos she posted on her Insta? Every single one carefully cropped. Nothing but girls. Never the bar. Never the crowd. And I don't know why. Maybe it's instinct. Maybe it's because I deal with tech all day, but I opened Find My iPhone. Her location? Off. She had literally disabled it. That was the moment my stomach turned. She always had it on. Always. And now, suddenly, when she's in a city full of clubs and hotel balconies, it's off. Day 3. I called her. No answer. She texts back 5 hours later. Sorry babe. Lost track of time. We went shopping all day. I love you. Something about that, I love you, felt weird. Too enthusiastic. Too perfectly placed. That's when I stopped texting and just started paying attention. Now here's the thing. I'm not the jealous type. I never snooped through her phone, never stalked her socials, nothing like that. But the way she acted when she got back from the trip, that's when I knew. She was glowing. No, not like happy to be home glowing. I mean post-hookup glow. Wearing new earrings, tan lines that didn't match her old swimsuit, and suddenly trying to be extra touchy with me. She brought me back this cute little souvenir, a keychain. It still had the price tag on it. And then, the moment that confirmed everything. That night, she fell asleep on the couch with her Apple Watch still on. While I was getting ready for bed, a message popped up on her wrist screen. It was from a number not saved in her contacts. Still thinking about that night, red heart. I stood there in the hallway, heart pounding, just staring at that little screen lighting up her wrist. She shifted in her sleep, rolled over, and I went into full autopilot mode. I took her phone, locked bathroom door. Quiet. No panic. Pulled up the iCloud backup settings. You see, the one mistake cheaters always make. They think deleting a message deletes the truth. But they forget about the cloud. I downloaded everything to my laptop. Photos, videos, messages, even her location history. Took about 20 minutes. I swear to you, those 20 minutes felt like an hour. I sat there, just listening to her softly snoring outside the door, while I watched her real life fall apart on my screen. There were dozens of messages. The guy's name was Chris. She met him at a bar on the second night. He was in town for a bachelor party, apparently some fitness coach type. And guess what? She didn't just sleep with him once. There were flirty texts from before the trip, and worse, messages from after she came home. Miss your hands on me, pleading face. Can't stop thinking about how I felt that night. My heart didn't break. It went cold. I felt like I was watching someone else's life crash and burn. My wife, the woman I built a home with, who I'd been planning to start a family with, was out there calling some stranger daddy while I was home feeding our dog and folding her laundry. But here's the part that most people don't expect. I didn't confront her. I didn't wake her up. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I closed the laptop, took a deep breath, and went to bed. Because in that moment, I knew I was going to ruin her, slowly, quietly, and with a smile. The next morning, I acted like nothing happened. We had coffee together. I kissed her cheek. I even asked about her trip. She thought she got away with it. She thought I was clueless. She had no idea that just 8 hours earlier, I watched her get wrecked by some gym bro in a Miami hotel room via her iCloud backup. But I kept smiling. Why? Because that was the only way I could win. Later that week, when I finally confronted her, I did it in the most casual way possible. We were watching Netflix, and during a quiet moment, I said, "So who's Chris?" She froze. Didn't blink. Didn't breathe. I could literally feel her heartbeat change next to me. She looked at me and said, "Wah, Chris? I don't know any Chris." Classic move. So I pulled out my laptop, opened the messages folder, and just started reading. Still thinking about that night. That's his number, right? That's when she broke. Not like dramatic crying, no. It was the silent, soul leaving the body type of breakdown. The kind that makes you realize someone just watched their life collapse in real time. She begged. She sobbed. She dropped to the floor. She tried to grab my hand. I didn't flinch. She said it was a mistake. Said it only happened once. Said she didn't plan it. That she was drunk. That her friends encouraged it. Same old greatest hits playlist, right? Then came the cherry on top. "Please, don't leave me. I'll do anything. Therapy. Quit drinking. Quit my job. Anything." And that's when I smiled. "Okay, we can fix this. Let's go to therapy." She gasped like I just threw her a life raft. But what she didn't realize, I just gave her the rope she'd hang herself with. From that moment forward, I became a ghost in my own marriage. I said all the right things. I played the healing husband. I even suggested we go on weekend trips, take couples quizzes, watch TED Talks together. And every time she started to relax and smile again, I'd find another piece of the puzzle. One night, while she was in the shower, I checked her phone again. Guess what? She didn't stop texting him. She just changed his name in her contacts to Melissa, her best friend. Only Melissa doesn't send you messages like, "I miss your mouth on me. Want to sneak away again?" So I started collecting everything. Screenshots, messages, photos, GPS history. I even saved voice notes. All of it, dated, backed up, and neatly organized in a folder labeled, "Just in case." Around this time, I quietly started going to therapy. But not couples therapy. Just me. Why? So I could document that I was trying, that I was healing, that I had done my part if this ever went to court. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I was transferring our joint savings into a new account, consulting a lawyer about asset protection, creating a timeline of her infidelity, gathering evidence of financial misconduct. Yep, she used our joint card to pay for a hotel with Chris. And the best part? I was doing it all with a smile on my face. Every night, I'd cuddle with her, tell her we're stronger than ever, whisper, "I'm glad we're working through this." And she'd cry and say, "Me too." Meanwhile, I'm thinking, tick, tick, tick. Then one day, she messed up. Big time. She left her laptop open while on a Zoom call for work. And like a moth to the flame, I wandered over. And guess what tab was open? A Google Doc, titled, "Pros and Cons of Leaving My Name." I kid you not. She actually made a list. I read it all. Pros. Chris is more fun, more attractive, more adventurous, better sex, less boring. Cons. Would lose house. Can't afford rent alone. Might lose Max, our dog. He's actually nice to me. That last one. That's when I decided. She's not just selfish. She's stupid. So I told her I forgave her. I told her we'd make it work. I told her I'd never leave. I was lying. I was building the life she'd never be a part of again. She thought we were back in love. She'd wake up smiling, send me playlists, plan little date nights. And every time she said, "I'm so lucky you forgave me," I smiled back. Because forgiveness wasn't part of the plan. Revenge was. So here's how it went from there. Emily was acting like a new woman. Suddenly, she was the perfect wife. Home early from work, cooking dinner, leaving notes on the fridge, buying me new socks, touching my arm when I walked past, laughing extra hard at my dumb jokes. She even started initiating intimacy again, like we were in our honeymoon phase. And for a second, just a second, I wondered, is she actually sorry? But then I remembered that Google Doc. The one where she listed my pros and cons like I was a used car. And poof, that thought vanished. I needed her happy, though. Comfortable. Because people who are comfortable don't notice things being moved. Like our finances, for example. Step 1. Cut the financial umbilical cord. We had 2 joint bank accounts. I emptied both. Quietly. A few transfers at a time. Just enough not to set off alarms, but enough to matter. Where did the money go? A new solo account, under a business name I registered 2 weeks prior. Shout out to my cousin who's a CPA. I owe him a beer. Then I cut up her access card. Told the bank she lost it. Set up 2FA on everything. She didn't even notice. She thought the app was glitching. Step 2. Secure the house. This one took finesse. The house was technically in both our names, but I had put 90% of the down payment years ago. So I refinanced. Told her I wanted to lower our monthly rate and save for a baby. She melted. Signed the documents without reading, which was wild, considering it took her 45 minutes to pick a smoothie flavor. The result? The deed was now only under my name. Her rights to the house? Poof. Gone. Step 3. The dog. This might sound petty, but Max, our lab, is my best friend. I raised him, trained him, slept on the floor with him when he was sick. She used to act like he was her dog, always posting selfies like, me and my baby, yeah, okay. So I took him to the vet and got his microchip updated. Changed the contact info, got the paperwork, even printed out custody laws for pets in our state. If she tried to fight for him later, good luck. While I was building this bulletproof exit plan, I was also watching her lie to my face. Because here's the kicker. She was still seeing Chris. Yep. After everything, the crying, the apologies, the therapy sessions, she was still sneaking off to see him. How did I know? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the Uber receipts I got sent to our shared email that she forgot I still had access to? Every Tuesday afternoon, like clockwork. UberX from Emily. Pick up at her office. Drop off at Broadstone West Apartments. Guess whose name was on that lease? Yep, Chris. Now, I'm not an angry guy. Never have been. But that day? That was the day I decided she was going to lose everything. So I started being extra romantic. Gifts. Flowers. Surprise lunch deliveries. Posted a picture of us on Instagram with the caption, 6 years married, and every day I love her more. And guess what? She commented with, I don't deserve you. No, she didn't. But I was about to show her what she did deserve. While I played doting husband, I was also playing private investigator. I compiled a full timeline of the affair. Messages, Uber logs, screenshots, emails, even audio. Yep, I dropped a little recording app into her work purse the day she left it in the kitchen. And the cherry on top? I reached out to Chris's girlfriend. Turns out, she didn't know about Emily either. I sent her everything. The screenshots, the hotel receipts, the Google Doc. We FaceTimed. She cried. I said I was sorry she had to find out this way. Then I asked her to do one small favor. The next week, Chris got dumped. His girlfriend threw all his stuff on the lawn and tagged Emily on Instagram. Her face when she saw the post? Priceless. That night, Emily asked, do you think people can really change? And I looked her in the eyes and said, I think some people don't deserve the chance. She thought we were building a future together. She didn't realize I was building an escape route. The foundation was set. Now it was time to light the match. The morning started like any other. She kissed me goodbye, took her coffee to go, and said, I love you. See you tonight, babe. By the time she came home, she didn't have a home to come back to. I picked a Thursday, specifically the Thursday before our anniversary weekend. Why? Because she had spent the last few weeks planning this romantic getaway for us. She thought we were in love. She booked a cabin in the mountains. Cozy, isolated, perfect spot to celebrate how far we'd come. And she was right. We had come far, just not in the direction she thought. Let me walk you through how the day went. 7 a.m. She left for work, humming in the kitchen, wearing a white blazer she bought just for this fresh start era of hers. 8 a.m. I walked Max, then called my lawyer. He gave the final green light. 9 a.m. Movers showed up. Not just any movers, professional, fast, and very discreet. Everything that was mine. Gone. Boxed. Shipped. Locked in a new storage unit. Everything that was hers. Left behind. Cold. Empty. Sitting like ghost furniture in a house that no longer belonged to her. Then came the legal nuke. I left a sealed envelope on the kitchen table, with her name handwritten in clean, perfect letters. Inside, divorce papers, evidence packet, copies of financial transfers, and a personal note that said, "You said it was a one-time mistake, but you made it every week for the past 2 months. You didn't just cheat on me. You broke something I can't rebuild. So now I'm doing the same. Without you." 12:30 p.m., I pulled Max into the car, gave the house one last look. It felt surreal. 6 years in that place. Birthdays, holidays, movie nights, all torched by one woman's ego and a gym bro with too much cologne. But you know what? I didn't feel sad. I felt clean, like I finally stepped out of a burning room and took a breath of air. 3:12 p.m., she texted, "Hey babe, what time are we leaving tomorrow? Should I pack your hoodie?" I didn't respond. 3:30 p.m., she called. I let it ring. 4 p.m., another text. "My bank app isn't working. Also, your key's not on the hook. You home?" Still no reply. 4:45 p.m., one last message. "Are you ignoring me? I'm getting worried." 5:15 p.m., she walked into the house. Let me paint the scene. The front door was unlocked. The living room? Empty. Couch, gone. TV, gone. Coffee table? Just dust lines where it used to be. The walls? Bare. Even the framed photo of our wedding, taken down. She probably walked in thinking we were robbed. Then she saw the envelope. And that's when the real robbery hit her. She lost me. I know what happened next because my neighbor, an older guy named Don, watched from across the street. He said she came running out barefoot, clutching the envelope, screaming into her phone. She called me 17 times. Left 8 voicemails. I didn't listen to any of them. Instead, I posted one thing to my social media. Starting a new chapter today. Thanks to everyone who always kept it real with me. Max and I are good. Better than ever. The comments flooded in. But she didn't comment. She didn't like. She just disappeared. I heard from mutuals that she called her mom, had a breakdown, then tried to say I blindsided her. That I must have been planning this behind her back. You think? She even tried to guilt trip her friends into taking her side. Guess what? Most of them already knew. Because the day before I moved, I sent them all an email. Attached was every bit of proof. Screenshots, messages, photos, even her little pros and cons list about why she might leave me. I didn't write a caption, just said, in case she tells you her side of the story. This is mine. She always said she was scared I'd leave her one day. I didn't leave. I just made sure she couldn't follow. The days after I disappeared were quiet for me, loud for her. She blew up my phone for about 72 hours straight. Texts, emails, voicemails, all stages of the grief process, just Emily style. Denial. Please tell me this is a joke. Please. I'll do anything. Anger. You coward. You couldn't even talk to me like a man. Bargaining. Can we at least talk? Just once. I swear I'm not seeing him anymore. Depression. I don't know who I am without you. Acceptance. Never really showed up. Instead, she pivoted to damage control. The aftermath. She tried telling people I overreacted, that it wasn't really cheating because it was just one time. Which is funny, because her messages clearly showed multiple hookups. And emotional ones, too. She told him she loved the way he made her feel like a wild version of herself. EW. Anyway, her narrative didn't stick. Because too many people saw the receipts. I didn't smear her publicly. I didn't call her out. I just quietly handed the truth to anyone she lied to. Like her boss? Yeah. Turns out her company takes reputation very seriously, especially for senior marketing managers. When screenshots of her saying she faked being sick to go F***K in a Miami hotel surfaced, guess who got let go for personal conduct? Unemployed. Blacklisted in her industry. And her friends? Oh man. Half of them cut her off immediately. The other half gave her the "we love you, but we need space" speech. Turns out people don't love being lied to or manipulated just to help cover up a cheating scandal. Even Rachel, her ride or die Miami partner in crime, ghosted her completely once she realized the fallout was real. The petty part. She tried to fight for Max. She emailed my lawyer saying she wanted shared visitation. Let me tell you something. No one who cheats in a marriage and lies about it for weeks gets to come for the dog. We had the paperwork. The chip was in my name. Vet records? My name. Adoption papers? All mine. The judge didn't even blink. Case dismissed in 30 seconds. The financial slap. Emily wasn't rich. And when I pulled my income out of her life, She struggled. Hard. She had to break her lease on our cabin getaway. I got the cancellation email forwarded to me. Poetic. Moved in with her cousin. Then a roommate. She even messaged Chris. Yeah, the guy she blew it all up for? Want to guess how that went? He ghosted her. She tried showing up at his gym once. He told her, I'm not looking for drama. Don't ruin my rep. Ouch. The grand finale. About 3 months after the divorce papers were filed, she sent me one last message. A big, emotional email. No subject line. Just paragraphs of half apologies, nostalgia, fake insights, and this gem at the end. I think we both made mistakes, but I just want you to know I'll always love you, even if you hate me. I didn't respond, because the truth is, I don't hate her. I feel absolutely nothing. And honestly, I think that hurts her more than anything else ever could. She lost her husband, her friends, her job, and worst of all, she lost her ability to play the victim. It's been over a year since I left her. No more drama. No more lies. No more walking on eggshells. Just peace. And honestly, I've never slept better. After the divorce was finalized, I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I just existed. Quietly. Freely. Without someone trying to convince me that I was the problem. I took Max on long walks. I started cooking again, just for me. I bought a motorcycle I'd been eyeing for years. Not because it was smart or necessary, but because I could. And slowly, my brain started working again. No more second-guessing every text. No more accidentally finding hotel receipts. No more wondering if her smile meant love or guilt. One morning, I woke up in my new apartment, fresh coffee brewing, Max curled up on the couch, and it hit me. I made it. I actually got out. The healing era. I stayed single for a while. Not because I was scared of relationships, but because I didn't want to bring old wounds into new rooms. I spent time with family again, caught up with friends I lost touch with. Funny how much brighter life gets when no one's draining the light from it. Eventually, yeah, I started dating again. Slowly, casually. And now? Now I'm with someone who's kind, grounded, honest. She doesn't flinch when I ask questions. She doesn't hide her phone like it's a bomb. She doesn't play games with love, and it's refreshing as hell. The last text. About 6 months ago, Emily texted me again. Short this time. No essays. No drama. Just, saw your new girl. She's cute. Hope she treats you right. I didn't reply. Because here's the truth. I don't owe her a conversation. Not after she burned the bridge, bulldozed the ashes, and tried to gaslight me into thinking it was my fault for noticing the smoke. Final thoughts. You know, people love to talk about forgiveness. How it's noble. How it sets you free. But sometimes, freedom comes from remembering. Remembering the red flags you ignored. The gut feelings you shoved down. The dignity you compromised to keep a sinking ship afloat. And most importantly, remembering that you're allowed to walk away without forgiving someone who never asked for real forgiveness in the first place. She told me it was a one-time mistake. I made sure it was her last. And now, I don't live with bitterness. I live with peace.